Welcome back to Steaming Pie with Lauren and Tucker. I am Laura.
And I'm Tucker.
And I have found a part of my brain that I didn't realize was quite as active as it is.
Okay.
So I started Stardew Valley, right? And the setup for that game is you work a stinky corporate job and then your grandfather kicks the bucket, but he gives you his farm as like his dying wish.
Okay.
And you go to Stardew Valley, you go to Pelican Town, and there's just a ton of people to meet. And there is something very appealing in like life simulator games where there's a cast of NPCs that you can interact with. And I think what activates it the most is that all of them have problems that you have to like dig around in to solve. And so you get to find out that the mayor is probably sleeping with the woman who owns the cow ranch, or like things like that, where it makes it more interesting because even though the core gameplay loop is you plant crops, you harvest them, there's more than crops to be harvested. And I don't know why the gossip brain is so effective and so enjoyable to indulge in, but it is.
So you call it a life simulator. It's actually a gossip simulator then, yeah?
To some degree. I mean, the currency isn't gossip, but I think that would be really fun.
How would that work as the core mechanic in the game if it was just gossip, using that as a currency system, trading secrets until you can blackmail the president?
I mean, sure. I think you would have to give it some sort of like core gameplay mechanic, but the fun thing that I can think of is you can learn wrong information or you can alienate yourself with other people depending on what information you have. Like, if I'm hanging out with, like, Amy on this side, and Amy tells me, don't tell Janet I said this, then she gives me information. If I then take that information to Janet, it's got to get back to Amy somehow. Or Janet is going to hate me even more because Amy was dead right on me not telling her. And so I think stuff like that could be very fun.
Interesting concept.
That way no one for real gets hurt.
Yeah.
I mean, assuming there wasn't some poor put-upon developer doing it by themselves.
Yeah, no, it's that's it. So this is tickling that part of your brain it wants juicy gossip.
Because I want to find out what people's problems are. Like, there's one character named Penny, and she's very quiet, very much a deflector. You can find her when she's not tutoring the 2 6-year-olds in this town. She is sitting under a tree looking sad. And when you go up and talk to her, it takes her a second to like register you're talking to her. And she'll be like, the mountain looks really nice today, doesn't it? And it's like, that wasn't what we were talking about, but I'm going to let that slide because you're clearly going through something. And then it's like, why are you sad? And then you find out she lives with a woman who's at the bar every night. And you're like, interesting. Is this like a roommate situation? And then no, you find out they're mother and daughter. And I'm like, why? What kind of situation is this? But then you walk in one day and Penny's like washing dishes, trying to like clean up the house that's a mess. She's like, oh my gosh, sorry, my mom left her stuff everywhere. Can you help me? But then the mom comes home and sees the farmer also cleaning her house, and it causes a whole thing. And it's that kind of drama that I'm like, I have to keep giving these people like pizza and coffee and crops and flowers and jewels so they will become friends with me and I can ask them what their deal is.
How big is this game? How long is this game? Because it sounds like it's a whole universe inside of it.
It is, and it's amazing that it has a whole universe within, like 24 people, I think, in total. I've played probably close to 45 hours of it, and I'm just now like halfway through year 2.
Out of how many?
As many as you want.
At some point you got to run out of content, right?
I don't know. My sister has put in like 10 times the number of hours I have. And she has only recently completed like the community center. That's like the big set piece for this game. But she completed the community center and she says there's like a whole different game after that.
Fascinating.
So I have no idea how much game is here. And all I know is it was made by one developer.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's fascinating. Like and I'm personally a big fan of games that just seem never ending in their immersion, and how it's you can always go back to it and get something new. So that's fascinating. That it's and it is this. I mean, I can't imagine this is a very like graphically complicated game.
No, just very nice pixel art, which makes it all the more befuddling when I'm like, I have very strong feelings about this cluster of pixels in particular.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like it's super complicated, but I think because it's so simple, it's so easy for people to like tap into and really like take ownership of it because it doesn't take a lot to understand.
Sure, that makes sense. Yeah, and it makes sense why all the effort was put into say like the story and the content as opposed to like the graphical immersion, because they've already settled on a, for lack of a better word, low effort style. Not that it was low effort, but that it wasn't as complex to make as like a 3-dimensional game.
Yeah,
for example.
It's not requiring like the Unreal Engine. I think is one of the big ones.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the just the fact that just the fact that they can put that much time into the content. And that's a decision. I mean, that's a trade-off that a lot of people, especially single developers, have to make.
Yes.
And yeah, it's fascinating because a lot of times, a lot of the prettiness of a game will come for free at this point, right? Like in these engines, a lot of it's just being handled because every engine, free or not, is incredibly high quality at this point, and it already calculates like lighting, and that's really all it takes to make a game look pretty. So, but it's nice to see people focusing on the content and making the world seem endless, because that is, I don't know, that's really cool to me.
Because it's a hard and a different kind of storytelling, and it's a storytelling that I struggle with a lot, of figuring out how to constantly open the next loop for a narrative, where you're constantly like closing one arc and you're starting the next one. I am very bad at how do we keep this thing going. It feels very segmented and very episodic, which serves a purpose in some capacities, but not necessarily the kind of writing I want to do. And so when I see something like Stardew Valley, where everything is constantly opening up to you, to where you'll get to the bottom of the mines, but then there's a whole other thing that you have to explore now. Stuff like that is very interesting, and I like it a lot.
That's neat. That's very cool. Yeah. What is the most immersive game you think you've ever played? Do you think this is it?
At least for the time being, and it's been a while since I've like played a game this intensely. Because Overcooked to a degree was immersive, because me, my husband, my brother, and my sister were all playing like in my parents' basement, and we were a machine. I have never had a more efficient set of people to do tasks. But no, I haven't had like the deep narratively immersive experience that some people have with games like The Last of Us or BioShock. I have BioShock, but I am very bad at video games, and that is a game that requires a certain level of skill, so I haven't like gotten fully into it.
Yeah. I guess I don't know. Having I don't know. I guess BioShock itself, it's fine. And I'll admit I haven't played through all of it. I've gotten through like half of it. It was on a Steam sale at some point, so I'm like, yeah, okay. Yeah. I'm not good at video games either, but it's just, I don't know, for some reason some games do it right? Like, people like us who are not gamers, right? We play the occasional video game. I've gotten to a routine where I'll kill like 30, 45 minutes a night playing Trackmania, but that's nothing story related. That's just driving. Yeah. So, like the games that actually require skill. I did Trackmania requires skill, but a different kind of skill, like first-person shooters, for example. Some games have it really well balanced so that you can still do it and complete it. I find that a lot of times I am so turned off by multiplayer aspects of games because by the time I get around to it, the skill level is already too high. I will not play Rainbow Six Siege online because no matter the skill level. Even if people are worse than me, I will still either be or feel like dead weight because I don't know how to play the game to its fullest potential. I feel like I'd feel the same way about Fortnite if I played that, which I don't. I feel like I'd feel the same way about what's another one, PUBG, if I played, which I don't.
Yeah.
Any of these, right? Rainbow Six Siege is the only one that I have that's like that. That's competitive ranked matchmaking. So yeah, but some games do that right.
Yeah, and some people have like a sense of camaraderie with it, which I think is great. But yeah, I think it's hard to find like new people in a game unless you are all new at the same time. And I know I ran into that with maybe Battlefield 1. Because that was like, I thought it looked really cool, had this whole like World War I setup, and the opening salvo is just you dying a bunch of different times as different people, which I assume the goal is like you would survive a little, but I think I survived like 2 seconds, which is very, very indicative of my current skill set in that kind of situation. But yeah, it's online, especially if like that's how you want to meet people and make friends potentially, which I don't know how effective that is. I don't know. There's a whole subset of life that I just don't know, because I have friends who play League, and they do very well for themselves, but I'm too much of a normie cash to do it.
Same. I play Minecraft on creative mode. That's who I am. Like I'm never gonna, right. I'm not a gamer.
What is the earliest you played Minecraft? Because I remembered playing it on like a Samsung tablet like in 2014 or something.
I must have been early on in high school, so yeah. I think I tried to play it on my computer, and my computer wasn't powerful enough. It was like 6 frames a second. And then I got a new one. My dad spilled something on his laptop, and I fixed it, so I got to keep it.
Hey.
And that was able to do it pretty well, and that had to have been around, quite possibly 2013, 2014. Yeah, about the same time the mobile version of Minecraft came out. And I also remember there was a version for the Raspberry Pi as well. Wow. And I think that might have been the first time I actually played Minecraft. It was just a port of the mobile version.
Sure.
Because it was the first Raspberry Pi, which is ridiculously underpowered. But it's been around for a while, and in many different incarnations. I'm shocked that a game like that, and maybe it has, but a game like that hasn't come around sooner. Simply because the concept of it is so rudimentary. Do you remember, and maybe you've never played this, but there was a game that was all the rage. It still exists. It's an online web toy. It's called The Powder Game.
No.
It's written by some Japanese guy. The website's like dan-ball.jp, and The Powder Game is just a physics simulation.
Oh.
But it truly is a sandbox, right? It's 2-dimensional particle simulation. But there's a lot of interesting things you can do with it.
Oh my gosh!
But it doesn't really capture the immersion that Minecraft has.
Huh.
And there is something very charming about Minecraft. Maybe it is the freedom it gives you to do whatever you want, even in the course of the proper gameplay that has a goal, that has an end.
Yeah.
So I don't know, there's something about the type of freedom it gives you. Because, if you think of other free world games, nothing is as free as Minecraft, I would say.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Without breaking out Blender and making something from scratch, modeling it yourself, there is nothing as free, right? Because you can truly build pretty much anything. You see people build, like, processors in Minecraft.
Oh my gosh, because I was about to say, it's like, I think the only thing that comes close is Rust, but I don't think in Rust you can even build that kind of stuff.
You can do it in Factorio.
Okay.
I think it might have been proven, I could be wrong about this, I think it might have been proven that Factorio is Turing complete, but I don't know for sure. I also don't know that I fully understand what that means, because there are some people out here claiming PowerPoint is Turing complete, and that doesn't seem correct.
Yeah.
It seems like a gimmick, but what was the point I was trying to make? Oh yeah, the latitude that Minecraft gives you, maybe it's because it's 3-dimensional and you're walking through the world. Maybe that's why it's different from Factorio. But the latitude that it gives you is different from other free world games like Red Dead Redemption, GTA 5, I don't know, Simpsons Hit and Run. What are some other open world games, right? But they're incredibly right. It's the freedom because you really it is a sandbox first and foremost with very little story. You can go into survival mode and it doesn't care if you complete it or not. Yeah. It's not even a story. I don't even understand. Like, calling it a story is offensive to stories, I think.
The closest I can think is that at some point there is like an ender dragon, but I do not know if that is the final boss or if that is just a boss. Okay. Yeah. There was like a big there was like a big Minecraft push in like 2020, so I watched a ton of people play Minecraft. I watched a ton of people play Among Us.
Among Us hasn't, I mean, it's kind of gone away a lot, but it hasn't gone away like Fall Guys has it?
No, Fall Guys definitely fell off, but Among Us is still hanging around.
Still Among Us?
Which, like, I enjoyed Among Us. I only played it like twice, but I had a fun time with it. I think it's the same feeling I hope to get if I ever get to play laser tag again. Like, laser tag, I have only cool memories of laser tag, and I really want to play it again.
What do you mean if you get to?
I don't know if I'll ever get to. Like, you gotta find a group. I don't want to play with like strangers. You don't want to
gun down a kid's party?
No.
You know, some second graders having their 8th birthday, and you just come through and mow them all down. Little pipsqueak didn't know what hit him.
No, I mean, not a kid's birthday. A bachelorette party, though. I could disrupt a bachelorette laser party.
There you go. Because you're a grown ass adult. You can go play laser tag whenever your heart desires.
That is true.
Even if you're the only one in there, but that would be dumb because you'd go mad and shoot yourself. That's
how it goes.
That's how it goes in laser tag. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like you could do, and maybe that's the same situation with strangers, but paintball, I feel like you could go and just kind of do, right, with any, because there's always people playing paintball, right?
Inexplicably.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's, there's something that I'm coming to appreciate more and more as, like, now I have entered my official late 20s, is like, oh, these things I enjoy doing, I don't have to stop doing them. There's not a, you must be under this age to participate in this activity. And I don't know why I ever believed that was a thing, but for whatever reason, I was like, I gotta enjoy this now because then I'll turn 30 and, like, can't do this anymore. It's like, why? Yes, you can.
Is that because you don't see people older than you doing it?
Often, yeah.
Well, what I'm sure it was very similar for them as well, right? Yeah. Your interests come with you as you grow up, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm sure they went through the same thing for the things that they do.
Yeah.
So yeah, keep playing laser tag. Who's going to stop you? Yeah. Not the laser tag people. Keep coming back. It's a money printer for them.
Yeah.
They don't have to do anything.
Yeah. And
laser tag's automated.
Yeah. And I think that's what's cool about, like, having a corporate job and having corporate job money is like, oh, I can spend money on this stuff now.
Yeah.
I can buy all kinds of stuff that I don't need, but it doesn't matter because I got the cash to do it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Get into a very expensive laser tag hobby, although I'm not quite sure what that looks like.
Yeah.
Get a membership.
Have you gone through, like, a phase post-college that, like, feels like a phase you could have gone through in high school, but you're going through it now?
I'm going to need an example.
Like, anime. I watch more anime now than I ever did before college. And a lot of people go, like, first start watching it in high school. But I am, like knee deep in it. And I only had the freedom to start doing that after college.
See, I watched anime in high school. I haven't watched it since, really.
And maybe you were, like, fulfilled and supported. But you didn't have, like, a different hobby in high school that, like, consumed everything, and you've abandoned that hobby completely.
Is that true? I certainly do less coding in my free time because it's my day job. But it hasn't like stopped being a hobby. I guess the hobbies come from more hardware things, and that's always going to require software, right? So that hasn't really stopped. But a phase that I'm going through now that I should have gone through or classically would have gone through in high school, I honestly cannot think of, and I'm thinking really hard. I'm not sure. I do. Yeah, I got nothing.
Which is fine.
But it feels like that should be a phenomenon that I assume a lot of people subscribe to, right? Like, they're almost as a broken form of nostalgia. Like, look at this thing that I missed out in high school.
Yeah.
Here I am now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But as I'm looking around all the crap in this room, I cannot think of. I play more video games now than I did in high school.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I played any video games in high school, if I'm being perfectly honest. And when they broke out Super Smash Bros, I died. I couldn't. I cannot play that game.
I missed out on some formative years there.
Oh yeah. Yeah. No, you have to have like friends to play that with, but I played video games in like elementary school, maybe a couple of middle school. I don't think I played a lot with I guess creative Minecraft, and then I graduated college, and I but it's so marginal. I don't know. I ain't got nothing.
Which I think is fair. Because for me, I did a hobby in high school and college, and then I traded that for different hobbies that didn't require like groups of people. Mm-hmm. Because like I did theater from 4th grade through college, and then graduated and never picked it back up.
Do you miss it?
Not usually. Mainly because I like having the time back.
Fair enough.
Theater is a massive time sink.
100%. Yep.
And I'm sure there are, like, I still follow local theaters, and if one has a show audition, then I'm like, maybe this one. I might. But I don't know, because I have gotten the fulfillment that I used to get from that through other things, through things like Dungeons and Dragons or writing for myself and video content creation. And that's more independently driven. I don't have to worry about like tech weeks. I don't have to worry about like fitting it around my schedule.
Yeah.
So yeah,
and they don't. Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't really have like extracurricular theaters for adults.
If there's not a community theater, not really.
See, I live in Chicago. Everyone's a tryhard. It's almost as bad as New York.
Yeah.
Every theater company is going to be a pyramid scheme, right? Like the people with the talent are going to try to convince the people who want to have the talent to take their classes. I'm looking at you, Second City.
That's right. You're in the heart of Second City.
Like Second City's okay, but you can tell that they're never going to breed another. Like I don't know, Colbert. Colbert came from Second City, right? They're never going to breed another Tina Fey, right? It's just I don't think it's going to happen, and I feel bad saying that because that really that really sells short the actors they have there currently.
Yeah.
But like looking at the shows that they write and the stuff that they're coming up improv wise, it's not on par with the people who have already come out, and that leads me to believe that they've turned into a business. Right?
Probably. Yeah.
They're here for the classes, and if you get through level 5, you are now a Second City performer.
Oh.
Or something like that. I can't imagine. You still probably have to try out, but I feel like
I was about to say, it's like if there's no audition process, then that definitely is a business. But the Second City performer is just like a piece of paper.
Yeah. But there used to be around these parts. There used to be another improv theater, not nearly as famous as Second City. It was called the I.O. And they'd had this show. It was a long form improv show. It blew me away. I saw it twice. It was based on one suggestion from the audience, they made up an entire Shakespeare play.
Ooh.
It was insane. It was an hour and a half long with an intermission. It was so good.
Were they the improvised Shakespeare company, or are they a different group?
I'm not sure. They might have been the improvised Shakespeare company.
Because they're real good. I've seen them do some stuff. It's slick stuff.
Yeah. I don't remember the second one, but the first one I saw, they got the livacious wink, and I don't know how they were able to take that. There's another thing around here in Chicago. It's maybe you've heard of this one, Drunk Shakespeare.
Yes.
Yeah, that's very good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they always do Macbeth, but it's always very good.
It's one of those things where if being intoxicated is part of the charm and the allure, I think having as many controlled variables is a good thing.
Yes. Yeah, I also hate to question the ethics of drunk Shakespeare, but are they actually drunk? I believe it a little bit, but not what they're playing up, right?
Yeah, I don't know. As much of a connoisseur as I am of intoxication, if someone's very good at playing that, it could be fake, it could be real. I don't know. Yeah. Are the people on Drunk History really drunk? I don't know.
It's hard to say. That being said, some of the stuff they serve there, look, I don't want to be gross, but it fucks me up. Because I think I've been there twice or 3 times. Both times I immediately followed it up with Taco Bell, so I wasn't sure which one it was. Oh. And then I had Taco Bell by itself, and I was fine. So it must be the shot they give you coming through the door, which is this like herbal crap. And I don't know what's in it. They don't tell you. It's vaguely alcoholic, and I've had different drinks all 3 times I was there, so it must be that one. But every time. So
maybe it's olive oil.
Is that supposed to grease the chute? Is that?
I don't know. I have seen it. I have seen olive oil shots in exactly 2 contexts. There's one where it's a tweet about a kid it's his 21st birthday, and his grandfather is like, hey, take 3 shots of olive oil, it'll coat the stomach. And he was like, it'll either the alcohol will hit faster, or you'll be able to have more and last longer. And the tweet goes on to say, we went to the first bar and he immediately shit his pants. So that's one. And then the other is when Starbucks tried to do an olive oil infused drink, and people also just shit their pants. So I'm like, 2 for 2.
I didn't know this. That's good to know. That's really good to know. It's like fast acting.
It sounds like it. Sounds like, T- whenever. I don't know how long it took to get to the bar of the first story, and I don't know how long people after having the olive oil frappuccino in the second one. That
is really good to know.
Yeah.
Instant relief. Just take a shot of olive oil.
Yeah,
so gross.
Well, because when you were like, oh yeah, it fucked me up, I'm like, wow, that's like, really high alcohol content. And then you kept going, and I'm like, oh, not that kind.
That's not what I meant.
Not that kind.
No, I've never left there drunk.
That's getting drunk is something I have like I think, kissed up to the edge of, but I don't think I ever have been.
No.
And there's a part of me that I'm like, do I want to? I think I want to. But then I wimp out after, 2 drinks. Because it has to be at home, because I'm usually the one who drives, and I don't like to pay $14 a drink. But I don't know, just not even for any end. It is the end unto itself. But
you just want to experience it.
Yeah, because I grew up in a dry house. My parents were both Baptist, are still Baptist, and they don't drink, so never did. And didn't really, I didn't drink until I turned 21, so I have had the very, standard experience. They were gotten close once, and that was, a giant tub of sangria. Nice. Yeah.
It takes a lot of sangria to get there.
Not if your tolerance is in the garbage.
Fair enough. Yeah. It is an interesting experience because, yeah, it's indescribable. And when you think of experiences that are indescribable, you're not like, oh, it's you would get drunk and you feel like this. You ever try those drunk goggles?
No.
No, sometimes they have them at science fairs to say, hey, don't drunk drive. They're first off, they're bogus because you can do all of the tasks in drunk goggles. You just have to mentally adjust for the offset that it gives you. And second off, it's nothing like that because it's a dynamic experience. It will never come close to how it distorts your inner ear perception for balance. How sometimes you're totally fine mentally, but it's just you cannot convey anything beyond your brain.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's, I mean, always do it for the experience, right?
Oh yeah.
If if you do it once, just, don't do it with cheap stuff because that's when it starts to get bad in the aftermath. Your vodka should always come in glass, not plastic. Learn that the hard way.
That could explain a lot. Yeah.
no matter how sweet it is, it's still tequila, right? Mm-hmm. If you get that, a little bit of Jose Cuervo mixture, it's still tequila. Let's not lose sight of that. Let's see what else. Yeah, and just stay hydrated. Otherwise, it's gonna suck the next morning. Oh. Yeah. Because
I've come close, and the things that I notice about myself is, I think I get louder. I've always been in the band where I think I'm acting more intoxicated than I am, but I'm very aware of how much I've had, and it's usually 2 drinks because that's all that is normal to consume at a time.
Well, you have to, and maybe you don't know the difference yet, but the difference between tipsy and drunk, because it's very easy to get tipsy. I'll get tipsy after a glass of champagne. I used to have a tolerance. I used to have a drinking problem, but I used to have the high tolerance. But now it's all gone. It's all completely gone. And so a small glass of anything is just going to be like, "Hello, I'm here." Yeah.
It's cost effective that way.
It is, because that's really all you need. But if you want to stop feeling things, then that's when you start. That's when you start tending to the plastic bottles, because then you want to be economic about it. Because what are you going to do? Drink Knob Creek for half the bottle, and then that's actually that's not that bad. That's $25. You get into the craft cocktails, right? Where they're expensive. Craft cocktails are expensive. So then you could go down the path where instead of drinking socially, or instead of drinking to not feel things, you drink because you like the art of it. And, but that in itself is a huge investment. To set up a bar which you can make the vast majority of cocktails,
that stacks up.
You see a recipe, it's I don't have orange bitters, so this whole drink is going to be ruined.
Because I need 3 ounces of gin, so I have to buy 128 ounces of gin.
Yeah.
For one cocktail to make myself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I mean, once you get to that point, you almost like, once you get like decent at it, going to a bar is the quality of the bar increases, right?
Yes.
You want to find someone who does the art better than you do.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Now, I still make ghetto-ass cocktails, so I'm going to go to any bar that has, a mediocre drink. But it's an interesting skill to have. Mixology.
Yes.
The upfront costs of such is non-trivial.
Yeah. Yeah, and every time I find like a drink that I like, I forget the name of it and I forget what's in it.
Yep.
So every time I go to a new place, I'm like, just give me this one, I guess.
Mm-hmm. You have a standard. You have a classic.
I don't. I think the closest I have. No, I don't. Old fashions are always the one that I'm like, I know what this is and I can order it, and then I forget that like whiskey is really hot.
What?
Is it bourbon or whiskey? Which is a trick question because I think they're one and the same.
One's a subset of the other, but What do you mean hot?
Like it burns and it burns the inside of my nose.
Interesting. Do you just not like brown liquor?
Possibly. I do like bourbon.
Okay. So then you do like brown liquor. What else is in an old fashioned? It's
like orange, I think.
Yeah, orange bitters and so it burns. Well, I mean, that's what alcohol's supposed to do.
It definitely is. I am also very partial to whiskey and Mountain Dew because allegedly that was what Mountain Dew was originally meant to be. And it's great. It's so great. Because like Mountain Dew has so much sugar in it, and it's cold, and so served over ice, that combination's real good. I've gotten through we had 30% of a bottle left, and I finished the rest of it that way.
Just anything mixed with Mountain Dew just genuinely sounds bad, so I'll have to see it to believe it.
No, any time you would include orange in something, you could include Mountain Dew in it because orange juice is a foundational ingredient in Mountain Dew.
Are you listening to yourself right now? You can see how how the uninitiated might just say she was lying before, she's drunk right now. That's orange. Here, I'll say the sentence you said to me back to you.
Did I say Mountain Dew twice? Because I have a bad habit lately of saying the beginning of a sentence, ignoring completely what I said at the beginning. And then
No, what you said is far crazier. You said orange juice is the foundational ingredient in Mountain Dew.
Yeah. Yeah, this can I have in my hand, the ingredient list says carbonated water, concentrated orange juice.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah. No, that's why there are so many morning variants, because it's orange juice.
What the heck?
Yeah.
That's fast. I had no idea that orange juice
great.
was the principal component of Mountain Dew. And I'm just thinking about the flavor of Mountain Dew. I can't taste it. So what else is in there? That's weird.
Citric acid, natural flavor. Don't know what that is.
That could be anything.
Potassium benzoate, citrus pectin, aspartame. That's the cancer one.
But there's more citrus.
Potassium
pectin?
citrate, caffeine, sodium citrate, acesulfame, potassium sucralose, gum arabic, sodium benzoate, preserves freshness, calcium disodium, EDTA, and yellow number 5.
That's it? Just yellow number 5?
Yeah.
It's such a vibrant color.
Well, because you have red 5 or red 10, I think. And
Yeah. Yeah, I guess I just kind of expected more colors than that. But I guess it's it's semi-clear.
It's the vibrant green. Yeah, because they come in other colors. I've had blue ones. I've had the red ones. The red ones are pretty good. But yeah, this one, This one's got that like really.
Yeah. Oh, that's much clearer than I remember. Maybe that's just because it's. Oh nope, it's. Yeah, that's about the color you'd expect.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you try that spicy Mountain Dew? You would remember.
I guess I didn't. The only like weird flavor I've come across is like Voodoo Mountain Dew, where it was like an orange, or no, it was like a pink color, and that one tasted like nothing.
Oh, the fruity one, the one that said it was just a lot of fruit. Yeah, that one was okay. Now they made a spicy one. It was like, spicy. It wasn't good.
I mean, I guess that except when I hear spicy, the only thing I'm thinking of is like hot Cheetos, and I'm like, that. I hope not.
No, it's not like hot Cheetos. It's like, what is it like? It's like, it's like what's it made of? Cayenne pepper?
Oh, okay, cayenne or cinnamon or something.
Yeah, kind of. If I look up spicy Mountain Dew flavor, Flamin' Hot. No, this wasn't it. Was it? Maybe it was Flamin' Hot Mountain Dew. I definitely got this on a dare to myself. Heat was a heat and citrus Mountain Dew flavor that combines the sweet citrus flavor of dew with the spicy kicked up flavor of Flamin' Hot, making the spicy and sweet citrus flavor. The flavor has often been described as a spicy version of Mountain Dew or Livewire, as having a unique flavor compared to other spicy PepsiCo products, such as Cheetos. So, it's unique from that. Contrary to popular belief, Flamin' Hot is not flavored after Flamin' Hot Cheetos.
Okay.
Thank God.
Yes.
What? Yeah, it wasn't good.
Mountain Dew's always coming out with like new flavors because they just redropped Pitch Black, and I thought that was a fever dream.
That's grape, right?
It says dark citrus.
Okay.
And it's purple, so I don't know. But there is a grape one. It's one of the morning variants.
But I trust Mountain Dew with the for forgetting their transgression of the spicy one. I trust them to make good flavors.
Yeah.
I don't think I've had a bad flavor other than that one. There are Coke needs to stop.
Yeah, Coke got a little.
Coke's going a little
Coke's
strange
been
right
dipping
now.
into the 1915.
Yeah, there were a couple flavors that were okay. They made one. I think it was peach. It wasn't very good. I think that one was called Dream. They made one recently that they should just tell you what the flavor is, because it was coconut, and I hate coconut. And I've tasted it, and I'm like, "What is this?" And it clicked. It was coconut. I was like, "This is really gross. Why would you ever make this?" I think that one's called Move. The composition of Coke really only lends itself to other fruit flavors, but only then just maybe a piff of citrus, right?
Yeah. Yeah, because they tried the orange. They did vanilla. They did orange vanilla.
Vanilla is okay, isn't it? That one's all right. The vanilla tastes fake, though. That's the problem.
And I'm not big into the fake vanilla, at least in Coke. And baking, I can't tell the difference. Yeah. The cherry one's good.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's... Well, there was like lime, which on its own seems weird, but it makes sense. It's probably good as a mixer, I guess.
I could see that. Back in, like, I want to say 2004, Pepsi had a spring mix that I think was primarily lime, and it was so good. It was so good, and they don't make it anymore. I don't think they ever will, and it's so disappointing.
Yeah. I had a Mountain Dew Energy flavor discontinued on me because they had like 6 and they decided to cut it down to 3, and I don't know by what metric they decided to cut it down to that 3, but it wasn't one of the 3 I wanted. Have you seen the Peepsy?
The who? Oh, I haven't seen it, but I've heard of it. That sounds... I wonder if they're still out there. I need to find one.
Ooh.
It's a couple weeks late, maybe.
Maybe. It might be on like those discount aisles if they still have any of the Easter stuff.
Yeah. I try not to drink soda. It's horrible for you. But I do really enjoy the novelty flavors. And that's how they get me, I know.
Yeah.
But, like, you know, if you're at a freestyle machine, I don't care if you can mix X with Y. I just want, right? But it's just in a can, in a bottle. I'll try it once. I just want to know.
Because that's all you need. Exactly. You can drink 12 ounces of anything.
Well, not the coconut stuff, but yes.
No.
The Dr. Pepper flavor they just did a limited run of, the strawberries and cream. That's really good.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That right? Why doesn't
I was
Coke
never a big Dr. Pepper person, but I respect the brand. I respect the like cultural weight it can throw around. But yeah, strawberries and cream makes sense for it.
Mm-hmm. And then for some reason Sierra Mist changed their name to Starry.
Oh. Is that them? I thought it was like one of those like RC kind of brands where it's like, we've been here the whole time. You never choose us, but we've been here the whole time.
No, that's Sierra Mist now. Same flavor, I'm pretty sure. I haven't had it since, but I used to be a big fan of Sierra Mist because it tasted a lot like that Japanese soda that you can't find anywhere except for Japanese restaurants.
Ramune,
yeah.
Yeah, you can get it at some novelty places. Like there's, this doesn't help you at all, but there's a place down in Marietta on the square that they just did all kinds of soda, like local stuff and things like that. And I think you could get Ramune there. And some gas stations I've seen it.
Yeah, there are a couple places around here where you can get it. It used to be one of my favorite places, but they don't do the all-you-can-eat sushi anymore because they're cowards. It's a rotary sushi place, but they have multiple flavors of it as well. But Sierra Mist was a cheap alternative to that because it had a very similar flavor composition. Mm-hmm. I assume it still does. They just changed the name and the branding. Again, I'm not quite sure why. I wonder if someone knows because it's such a fascinating. Let's see.
I'm always interested when things rebrand for what reason. And why Sierra Mist? Because maybe it's just because Sprite has such a chokehold on the clear soda market that Pepsi wanted to like try again. Mm-hmm. Which they can't compete with Coca-Cola on a global market stand at all. And I say that as someone who generally... Do I believe that? No. I'm not going to say that I prefer one over the other. It really just depends.
Oh, it looks like they're just... It looks like they're just trying to compete with Sprite. I think they're just trying to hit them hard with the rebrand. The drink was rebranded as Mist Twist back in 2016. Remember that? But reverted to Sierra Mist in 2018. In early 2023, Sierra Mist was replaced by Starry. The brand was aimed at competing with the Coca-Cola Company's Sprite brand and Keurig Dr. Pepper's 7-Up. Now that's a sentence I didn't think I'd read. Keurig Dr. Pepper owns 7-Up?
What?
How long have they been like that?
What?
Oh my god, this is a horrible merger. Holy moly. Keurig Dr. Pepper Incorporated, formerly Green Mountain Coffee Roasters, and Keurig Green Mountain is a publicly traded American beverage and coffee maker conglomerate with headquarters in Burlington, Massachusetts. Formed in July 2018 with the merger of Keurig Green Mountain and the Dr. Pepper Snapple Group, formerly Dr. Pepper 7-Up.
Oh my gosh.
Oh wait, do they also have Canada Dry? Did Canada Dry get merged into here as well?
Canada Dry, I think, is PepsiCo.
Keurig Dr. Pepper offers over 125 hot and cold beverages. The company's Canadian business unit subsidiary operates as Keurig Dr. Pepper Canada, formerly Canada Dry Mott's.
I was wrong.
Oh, well, maybe. Let's see. Oh, here's the list of brands they own. The Keurig, the K-Cups, Green Mountain Coffee, Dr. Pepper, Snapple, Schweppes, 7-Up, Sundrop. You don't see Sundrop a lot, but it's good. A&W worldwide except Canada. Canada Dry. Canfields. Hawaiian Punch in the U.S. only. IBC Root Beer. Mott's, I guess is in the applesauce. Mr. and Mrs. T, as in the pierogies. Nantucket Nectars. Nehi. Vernor's. RC Cola.
What?
I didn't realize. Squirt. Sunkissed.
I miss Squirt.
And Yoo-hoo. They still make it. You can find it.
Oh, no, it's not Squirt. I miss Surge. Did you ever go to Burger King and they had Surge in that machine?
That does sound familiar. But I'm definitely confusing it with Vault Surge drink.
Like bright neon green logo.
So, I recognize that, but Google's showing me pictures of waves, and then it shows me pictures of the soda, even though it got the description right. Fascinating. The legendary Surge is back. It looks like Coke owns them?
That figures. Coke would.
Surge Up, be legend. Well, it's not about Surge.
Do I want to taste it? Because, like, I have an image in my mind, and I don't know if Surge will taste the same if I don't have, like, a kid's meal and a playground to hop on after, you know?
The same great taste from the 1990s is back, now in a larger 16-ounce can. Surge is the bolder citrus soda that fuels a familiar rush from back in the day. There's only one available flavor, one available size. Let's go ahead and shop now and see what we got. Oh, it's going to give me a map. Amazon, out of stock. Instacart, see website. Walmart, out of stock. Okay, so maybe it's not back. Maybe the SEO is just broken. Okay.
It could be. That's hilarious. Surge, sometimes styled as Surge in all caps, is a citrus-flavored soft drink first produced in the 1990s by the Coca-Cola Company to compete with Pepsi's Mountain Dew. Surge was advertised as having more hardcore edge, much like Mountain Dew's advertising at the time, in an attempt to lure customers away from Pepsi. It was originally launched in Norway as Urge in 1996, and then was released in the United States as Surge in 1997. Cool. Lagging sales caused production to be ended in 2003 for most markets.
Heck.
In 1997, Coca-Cola started production of Surge in the United States, with its original white paper name being MDK, or Mountain Dew Killer.
Nice. Nice. I mean, it didn't work, but nice.
It didn't. But it's so fascinating that, like, Pepsi won in that situation, because I so often think of Coke as winning. Like, Arby's used to serve Pepsi, they serve Coke now. Five Guys used to serve Pepsi, serves Coke now. And it's gotten to the point where businesses like KFC, Pizza Hut, and Taco Bell, the brand conglomerate, they are all under PepsiCo. And so they control just those businesses because those are the only ones that'll still serve Pepsi.
Yeah. Fascinating.
Yeah.
You would think, I mean, and I don't really know much about soda production, but you think that they could occasionally just do runs of these, niche sodas. I don't know if there's like a massive financial downside to that, because, there's a finite number of places on shelves. But, I mean, there's no way that that these ingredients are hard to get. There's no way that there's no way that there's like I guess apart from the marketing and the actual placing it in stores, there is a financial downside, especially if it has a cult following and they're able to cultivate a cult following around said cult following. Right? Yeah.
Well, you make it like any kind of pop-up where you make the exclusivity part of the deal. It's like, ooh, we're only going to drop 1,000 cases.
Yeah.
And if you miss it, we'll kill your mom. Like.
Yeah. Have you seen, there's a 4-episode documentary called Pepsi Where's My Jet?
No.
It's about this guy who bought enough Pepsi points to get the Harrier jet, and they wouldn't give it to him, even though on the commercial that said how many points the jet was had no disclaimer. It was a legitimate offer.
Oh my gosh. That sounds amazing.
He didn't get the jet, but I forget exactly how it ended. See, but the problem is you have to buy Harrier jets in groups of 5. So that's that's like 9-figure investment already. And
we need 4 other people to have done this already, and because it's just you, we're going to kill your mom.
It's an interesting documentary. A lot of interesting people.
I like documentaries that pick up like the really weird stories. And there's some that I have on a backlog of like someday I'm gonna just cozy up and watch Tickled,
Oh, that one's weird.
Yeah.
That one's weird. Tickled is strange.
Yeah. Niche communities like that, it's so interesting. Because once you see kind of just behind, it's like, oh, there are people living entire lives in these spaces. That's interesting.
Oh, yeah.
They know the ins and outs and all the vocabulary.
The tickling vocabulary.
Yes.
Teehee.
I'm sure the documentary explains it, but it's so interesting. Like, how do you get into stuff like that? Not necessarily into it, enjoying it, but like, how do you look that stuff up? It's
$20 is $20.
Yeah, and maybe it's just because I've watched a lot of other people talk about like dark web content. But like in the news recently, there was that kid, the National Guard kid, who wanted to become a hitman, and so he tried to apply through rentahitman.com, which is a parody website, and I'm like, you get those on the dark web. That's like day one.
Yeah.
That's like baby's first dark web video. Which, honey, where have you been? You mean to tell me watch not an Expo video? You've never seen a Night Mind?
Yeah. Some people. I don't know about some people. Ah, yes. Yeah. We're just gonna apply to be a hitman on the clear web. That's
with his resume.
Oh, good. So they know his serial number now. Yeah.
Yeah. Resume, contact information, and FBI was like, yeah, we'll hire you, and he's like, great. No, we're gonna arrest you. But apparently it's happened before. People will try to hire hitmen through these parody websites, and it's just like,
what are you thinking?
No hitmen here.
Nope. My goodness. I don't know about some people, man. I don't know.
Yeah. I saw a comment today, and I can't remember what it was about. I think it may have even been on this story or a different one, where they were talking about, like, the fact that we have all of the information at our disposal and not a person online knows how to use it is baffling. It's like you have even just, like, a little more of a Google search. You'd get where you need to go. But in the process of reading about this, I found out that, like, the big idea of contract killing is mostly movie myth. By and large, if someone wants to kill someone, they're hiring someone who has never killed someone before for a very small sum of money. Because most contract killing happens in, like, gang-related shakeups. And yeah, if someone low on the ranks messes up, the boss is not going to hire someone who costs $10,000 to pick you off. He's going to say, you, $100, take him out.
Easy peasy.
Yeah.
And if you want to save a quick buck, just do it yourself.
Yes.
This is America. It's not hard.
No, it's weirdly easy.
Well, that's how, I mean, you save a quick buck, you know.
Brief little Tylenol overdose.
Oops.
Happens on accident.
Uh-oh. Oh, no.
I couldn't. That is the thing that, like, continues to fascinate me about, like, videos talking about people killing other people is, like, you can only get away with it for so long.
Sure.
And It's more a waiting game than like an outsmarting the police game.
Yeah. Not everyone can be the Zodiac Killer.
No. But even that we found out.
Did we? I thought those theories were mostly debunked.
No, it was Ted Cruz.
Oh, right. Okay, of course. Checks out. Yeah. He would do it.
Ate a lot of people's sons.
Yeah. Yeah. I can see him doing that. Eating a lot of people's sons. Yeah. I'm trying to turn it into a blowjob joke, but I couldn't find the bridge.
Every once in a while, I think, like, could the Ted Cruz ate my son jokes, could they have worked with any other politician? And the answer is still no.
You don't think George H.W. could have eaten sons?
Ooh, that's... maybe he could have.
Because we know Bill Clinton was eating a lot of daughters.
No.
Good night, America.
No. Oh my gosh. What simpler times?
I suppose. Would you rather have the president in a sex scandal or an election scandal? I don't know. Actually, no, he's still in a sex scandal.
That's literally what he got arrested for.
Huh.
No, but I will say, I am glad I live in the times of the AI voice memes. Watching Trump and Biden play Minecraft.
Yeah, they're not bad.
Those are pretty good.
Yeah.
It just feels right.
You think they'd play together. You know they'd play together deep down.
Oh, yeah.
They're bros.
Yeah.
The Alive Presidents Club.
Yeah, the over 75s have got to stick together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. See, Carter probably can't use a computer anymore, and HW wouldn't understand Minecraft. So
he wouldn't.
It's just the others now. Or Clinton. Yeah. Clinton would do it. Haven't heard anything from Clinton on Minecraft.
No. Maybe it's because he's not... It's because it's not funny?
Bill Clinton isn't funny?
I mean,
making fun of Bill Clinton isn't funny?
Oh, making fun of him is always hilarious.
Yeah. He should be playing Minecraft with the big boys.
I've seen Hillary hop on Minecraft.
There you go. She's a griefer. I can tell.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and if that's as bad as, the AI voice stuff gets, that's fine. That's all we need.
Yeah.
It definitely won't get worse than that.
Probably not. No.
Probably not.
No. Nah. Definitely not worth being concerned about.
No. But what our listeners can be concerned about is our sponsor.
Yes. Well, I'm so glad you asked, Lauren, because tonight on Steaming Pile, this episode of Steaming Pile is sponsored by this thing. Now, I don't know what it is. I found this outside on the street. It had $100 taped to it with a note that said, please promote this on your podcast. Now, it didn't say our podcast. It just said any podcast. So I figured this is the only one I have. Might as well take the $100 and promote whatever this blue rectangle is. I don't know what it is, but it's heavy. It's got nothing. It's closed on all sides. I mean, it might be a bomb if I'm being honest. But I can't tell because I have no idea what this is. But for our $100 for this ad read, blue rectangle. So thank you to Blue Rectangle, and whoever left the blue rectangle outside on the street, it's here. You can have it back if you didn't mean for me to keep it. I don't have an address to send it back to. There's no, it might have a homing device on it, but I don't know. But as I said before, $100 is $100. So thank you, vague blue rectangle. You are a very nice shade of blue.
It is. Blue rectangle. Well, we'll just have to see what transpires with blue rectangle. Maybe there will be more blue rectangles.
Quite possibly.
Sponsored by Blue Rectangle.
Thank you, Blue Rectangle.
Thank you, Blue Rectangle.
Whatever you are.
But that brings us to the bottom of the steaming pile for this episode. This has been Steaming Pile with Lauren and Tucker. I've been Lauren.
And I have been Tucker.
And we will see you all next time.